Welcome to the Observe Day podcast, the show where we celebrate the days that matter. From holidays to meaningful observances, we bring you inspiring conversations, stories, and ideas to make each day count. Whether it's raising awareness, learning something new, or simply sparking joy, this is your space to explore the calendar in a whole new way. I'm your host, Wisdom Okonkwo, and I'm excited to share today's observance with you. Let's dive in. Today on Observe Day, we're honoring Breast Cancer Awareness Month with a woman whose story redefines strength, survivor, and self-expression. Our guest, Zulma Williams, also known as the Swearing Therapist, is a licensed clinical social worker, founder of Dragonfly Therapy Services, podcaster, speaker, and a breast cancer survivor. Born in Argentina and now based in Nevada, Zuma's journey took her from surviving cancer and abusive relationships to building a thriving therapy practice where she helps others heal from trauma, anxiety, and depression with honesty, laughter, and a few perfectly timed swear words. Today, we'll dive into our personal journey through breast cancer, the power of keeping it real in healing, and the deep connection between mental health, resilience, and self-compassion. Welcome to the podcast, Zuma.
Thank you. Thank you. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you said you're a warrior and not a victim. Has that always been a thing for you, or was it more like, oh, it was a journey where you got to a point where you're like, I'm a warrior, not a victim?
So when I first received the diagnosis, right, like it was terrifying. I was thinking like, why me? And then I started reflecting on that. And anytime that we are like, oh, why me? It's kind of like a victim mentality, because it's like, why not me? Right? Like, so I started at that time, my mom was alive. So I was like, I don't have children, but I have a mom and I have a sister and I have nieces and I have girlfriends. So I started thinking, if it's not me, would I have preferred that one of them had the diagnosis? And of course, the answer is no. So I changed the question from why me to why not me. Right. So it's like moving from a victim mentality to an empowering mentality. Because now, if it's why not me, now I have a decision to make. I can sit in the corner and wait to die, or I can get up and fight. Spoiler alert, I'm winning the fight, right? So far, here I am. So I made the decision to fight. And here I am 13 years later, cancer free. But at the time that it was really important to move away from that why me mentality, because otherwise I would have become a victim of, I always say, I had cancer. Cancer didn't have me.
Oh,
So it's like that also moves you away from the victim mentality. Like, no, I had this diagnosis. This diagnosis didn't have me. It had me for like maybe a week while I was like, changing my mindset. But because like receiving and listening to the word cancer is very traumatic and all those things. But I was like, okay, what I'm going to do with this now that I have it, right? So it's like fighting and denying it and saying like and crying in the corner because I had cancer. It's like, okay, I did that for probably a couple of days, and then I was like, bitch, fucking get the fuck up, because it's like, what are you going to do with this, right? Like, so.
oh. The reason I'm laughing is I'm not sure. When I reached out to you again, I wrote the intro. I was, doing the research again, and I was like, I kept saying the word swearing therapist, and I was like, the first time I interviewed her, she didn't come across as someone, that swears a lot and all that. And I was like, and now the moment you just said it, I was like, oh, maybe next time I interview, I won't introduce
Now
you
it
as the
comes
swearing
out.
therapist. I'll just say, oh, she's a warrior. She's a clinical social worker, and I'll just skip that part so we don't. Yeah, I'm curious. When exactly was this? When exactly was this diagnosis?
So I was diagnosed with breast cancer stage 2A. So I learned that breast cancer has different stages. It goes from 0 to 4, and some of the stages have A and B. I was stage 2A. It was invasive ductal carcinoma, and then after the surgery, they determined that it was a stage 2A. I
Okay.
got diagnosed actually on Valentine's Day, February 14th of 2012.
Why did it have to be on a Valentine's Day?
Right?
Did you hear what I said?
Well, here is the thing.
Yeah.
They did the biopsy and yeah, they did the biopsy and then it was going to be about 2 weeks for me to get the result. But I reached out to the doctor and they had the result early. So I wanted to know. So I made the appointment. The first one that they had available was, of course, Valentine's Day. I was like, okay, okay, like I will remember, but it helps me remember, right? Because it's such a special
Yeah.
day. So I went to the doctor and I got the news that day. And, I mean, it's such a significant day. Then I had my surgery on April 3rd of 2012. And April 3rd is the day that my soccer team in Argentina was founded. So it's like, it's Valentine's Day,
Wow.
is my team's, when my team was created. I'm like, okay, like, let's go with the anniversaries, like, and the special dates. So, yeah.
Wow. I love that. And it's one of the things that most people do when they have something tragic happen on a particular day. Let's say they lose someone dear to them. They try to look for something nice, really, really good, and they do it that day. Like they create that thing that day, so that instead of just on the anniversary of those days, it's not just, oh, this bad thing happened to me. They're always saying, okay, this good thing was brought to life.
And
Yeah.
it's such
Uh,
a significant date that I got diagnosed on Valentine's Day because it's the day that we celebrate love, right? Like, so it's like it's the day that actually I was confronted with start loving myself. So it kind of like all
yeah.
intertwines together.
Yeah. A lot of persons after recovery and surgery and all that, they plunge into depression, anxiety. For you, what helps you? I know you shared the mental reframe from victim to warrior. Or how did you rebuild
Mhm.
after the recovery?
Uh,
Before we dive deeper, I'd love to invite you to join the Observe Day newsletter. Every week, I send you highlights of upcoming observances, creative ways to celebrate, and behind the scenes extras from the shows. It's the perfect way to stay inspired and never miss a meaningful moment. Sign up today at observeday.com/join. That is observeday.com/join. Now, let's get back to the conversation.
by taking it one day at a time. Like, it was the treatment at the beginning was very intense. Then it was like once every month, then it was once every 3 months, and so on and so forth. And there were times where it was like so hard to keep up, like I didn't feel well, or the medicine side effect was especially strong that day, or whatever. And reminding myself that this is temporary and tomorrow is another day, and then just keep going one day at a time, right? Like, so today is a bad day, tomorrow might be better. Today is a good day, I'm going to enjoy it because I don't know how tomorrow is going to be. So it's like one of the ways to actually deal with anxiety is to come back to the present moment, right? Because anxiety is about trying to control the future, which is impossible because the future is not even here. So coming back to the present moment, okay, I'm not feeling my best today, but this is temporary. I had bad days and I have good days, but that's part of life. You don't have to have cancer to have good days and bad days. We deal with that on a regular basis. So it's just reminding that this is part of life. So it's like you keep pushing through one day at a time. If one day is too long, 1 hour at a time. If 1 hour is too long, 15 minutes at a time, right? Like, can I push through this pain for 15 minutes? Sure, you can. So then after those 15 minutes,
Yeah.
you do it again for another 15 minutes. Four of those make 1 hour. 24 of those make one day, right? Like, so it's like if you would have told me, oh my God, you got to do this for the next 10 years, I would have given up. But I can do this for the next 15 minutes. How I got to 13 years of cancer free? One day at a time, one treatment at a time, right? So it's like anything that is in front of us, if we break it down in a smaller pieces, it becomes manageable. How do
Yeah.
you do your podcast? One interview at a time, right? So it's like
Yeah.
you just keep doing it.
Thank you so much. What would you? What message would you? I mean, even your story alone is a message. Going beyond just the story, what message would you love to share with women who, who are afraid of screening or even speaking about breast health?
Thank you. That is an absolutely amazing question, because we are so afraid of getting the mammogram or getting the testing or whatever. But I always say that knowledge is power. So by avoiding like the mammogram, you are not knowing how the battle or who the enemy is, right? So it's like if you okay, so if
Yeah.
like I close my eyes, I'm like, okay, wisdom is not here. Like, no, that is denial. That is not realistic.
Yeah.
So avoiding to have the mammogram doesn't push the cancer away. It actually increases the chances of having cancer because you are not treating it. But like going through the testing and really finding out, do you have cancer? And then finding out what is the best treatment for you. So now you know the enemy. So now you can develop a plan of attack. If you don't know what you are dealing with, you lose, right? So because it's like the longer you take to get tested, the more chances, if it is cancer, the more chances you have that it's going to be a bigger problem. So it's like, okay, the anxiety that it gives me to go have a mammogram, right? Or a test, it doesn't matter what it is, an ultrasound, whatever it is, doesn't compare with the anxiety of me finding a lump and then not doing anything about it. And then just checking, is it bigger? Is it not? Whatever. It's like, why do you want to be in the dark when you have the light switch and you can shed light literally on what the issue is so you can develop a plan of action? So when we are like, if I close my eyes, like this is not happening, eventually I will have to open my eyes. And then when I open my eyes, the problem might be a lot bigger than it was originally, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I
Yeah.
will encourage everybody, women and men. I had a host who had breast cancer and he was a male. He had it twice.
Oh.
So men can have breast cancer too. And it's like
Oh.
because you have breasts.
Yeah. Of course.
So men should get checked too. All the uh it is all the advertising and is geared toward women, but men can have breast cancer too, so men should get checked also. um he had an amazing story, this host. I was like, why are you interviewing me? Your story is even better than mine. But because we were
Uh,
sharing like the breast cancer diagnosis, right? But to answer the question, like to everybody listening, schedule that appointment, schedule a colonoscopy, schedule a mammogram, schedule blood work, like so that you know what you are dealing with, so that you can take charge of your health.
yeah.
These things leave,
Yeah.
if you leave them untreated, they can kill you. But if you know what you are dealing with, there is hope. I'm proof of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad that you brought up the story of the host that the male host that went had breast cancer, because a lot of the time nobody talks about it, but it's kind of like unwritten. the moment we talk about breast cancer, when it's, oh yeah, it's one of these cancer that's women go through, right? And also you keep one of the things you keep mentioning is how important it is that we know the state of our health, right, before it becomes too late.
Yes. And
Yeah,
especially colorectal cancer. So usually you don't supposed to have a colonoscopy until you are 50, but they are lowering the age to 45 because a lot of 40-year-olds, 40 to 45-year-olds are getting, they have colorectal cancer and they don't know it. Because it's like, oh, well, if you're not 50, I'm not going to order the colonoscopy. And it's like that shit can kill you. And usually, like, you're having diarrhea or whatever, and it's like, yeah, well, it's something that I ate that, that didn't sit well with me. And it ends up being a life threatening illness. So, like, we should all go to the doctor, get our testing, and then if you don't have anything, everything comes back clear. Good for you, right?
yeah,
But it's like if they
yeah.
find anything, this is actually fucking great news because now you know who the enemy is and you can develop a plan to fight it. If you ignore the issue, you lose because you're not fighting.
I mean, it's like having a bank, right? You're having security in place. You're even making projections that, oh, there'll be a rally around this environment. There'll be a lot of crowd, right? Because the thing that is in the bank is it depends on how valuable and expensive the thing is. That's how the security level will be intense. That's a lot of research people will be doing. Sometimes if you like over here in Nigeria, if you're going through the central bank, right, the federal they call it Federal Reserve over there, but yes, central bank. If you're passing through the central bank, you cannot pick up a cell phone and make a call. If you try that, you'll be detained. Like you literally cannot do that because like it's the central bank. There's a lot of money there, right? And it's the same thing with our health, right? We are so valuable that we should spend the time
Yes.
securing, making preventive measures, and also checking and make sure that everything is on point. You don't want to make sure the door is open, the fence is broken, and things like that. Makes perfect sense.
Absolutely. Because health and time are two commodities that when you lose them, you cannot get them back. So they're the two most valuable things that we have. This time we are sharing together, we're not gonna get it back.
Yeah, yeah. I'm I'm
And that's why
curious,
time is
Zuma.
so
As someone
valuable.
who, yeah, yeah. I'm curious. As someone who has gone through breast cancer and survived, and also conquered as a warrior, um, what would you say are the best ways families, friends, uh, can support people going through breast cancer?
Uh just ask what the person needs. Have that conversation.
Mm,
How can I support you better? Because what happens is that our loved ones don't know what the fuck to do. And it's our responsibility to guide them in what we need. Right. So it's a joint um thing that is like you ask me, how can I support you better? Because it could be that you can give me a ride to the treatment, right? And bring me back so I don't have to drive myself. That would be very helpful. Or you can do laundry, or you can watch my kids, or you can bring me a hot meal, right? Like so, but I need to express how you can help me better. When I first got diagnosed, I didn't want to talk to anybody. Like I was crying the entire, like I couldn't talk without crying. So I sent a massive email to family and friends saying, I cannot talk. This is what's going on. I cannot talk right now, but if you can send me an email, I will really appreciate it. So I got the emails and I read them in my own time and I cry in my own,
yeah,
right? Like it on my own by reading the emails because that's what I needed at that time. I had a couple of close
yeah,
friends who were like by my side, but I wanted everybody to know. And it was my way of having that support and asking for the support. So, and it's like, and I still have the emails which was by the way, I'm tooting my own horn, but it was a great idea because I still have the emails, right? If it was
Yeah,
a
you can
voice
still go
message,
back
I
and
might have
check
lost it,
them.
but I
Yeah,
still can,
yeah,
right? I can check the emails, and it was like it was such a relief for my friends because they wanted to be there for me, but they didn't know how to. And I provide them a way to be there for me. It is, I think it's
yeah,
our responsibility to do that so that our friends can be there for us and
yeah.
our family.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad I asked you this question. You really got to share that part of the breast cancer story. That's I'm really glad I got that. I got that part. ah, um, at the beginning of the at the beginning of the episode, we before the episode, we were talking about the pink ribbons, signifying breast cancer survival, and so many other ribbons. If healing had a color for you, what would yours be?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. For me, it will be light purple, almost lavender with glitter all over. A glittery
Oh,
lavender color. And the reason why is because purple is the color of transformation. So I am not the same person I was prior to being diagnosed, but
yeah,
I'm very happy with the person that I had become. So it's like, is it a light purple with a glitter because I'm a glittery girl. So it's like it has to be shiny.
yeah, yeah. It makes sense. Thank you so much, Zuma. Most of my interviews with
Of
you are always
course.
short. Maybe
It's
one of these
such
days
a
I should do longer
pleasure to
interviews.
share with you. I love it.
Yeah. Where can listeners learn more about the work you do and also connect with you?
Absolutely. They can follow me on my Instagram at the Swearing Therapist. My website is dragonflytherapyservices.net. And my own podcast is called Keeping It Real with Zulma, the Swearing Therapist.
Well, thank you so much for uh, chatting with me, and it's been an absolute delight listening to you share your story.
Thank you so much for having me again. It's such a pleasure.
That's it for today's episode of the Observe Day podcast. Thank you for spending your time with us as we explore today's observance. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and share it with a friend who'd love to celebrate life's special days too. Don't forget to join the newsletter at observeday.com/join for more observance stories, tips, and updates. Until next time, keep finding meaning in every day.